Welcome back to Support Expert. Today, I'll analyze the second game of SKT vs G2. From draft, macro to teamfights, why and how they did it, what they did wrong, what should have been done. It will help you in ranked at any roles knowing these things.
Skipper, look. Analysis.
G2 banned Elise. With Gragas and Elise the two tier 1 AP junglers in this tournament, they're questioning SKT if they're willing to let them have Gragas. If SKT is not, they'll ban Gragas, and if they are, they'll ban another champion. SKT banned the fixed ban from the red side, Pantheon. G2 banned Akali. The analysis was done in game 1, so I'll skip this. And again, SKT banned Kiana. Just like game 1, a very questionable ban, but the analysis was done in game 1, so I'll skip the details. Then G2 banned Kai'Sa. This requires slightly more detailed analysis. The blue side must leave even number of tier 1 champions open so that they can have as many as the red side does. For SKT, their tier 1 champions left are Ryze, Xayah, Gragas, Kai'Sa, and Renekton. G2's preferred champions that's open are Ryze, Xayah, and Gragas. With Ryze and Xayah the ultimate preferred pick for them, if they prioritize Xayah and ban Ryze because they don't want SKT to have it, SKT will ban Xayah and gladly take Kai'Sa. So in order to make this draft in their favor, they ban Kai'Sa, and as a result, SKT must respawn with Xayah ban, which allows G2 to take the only remaining ultimate pick, Ryze. SKT take Renekton and Gragas. G2 with spare picks available, picks Ornn early to counter Renekton. And because top will be playing defensively, SKT can only play around the boss side, so G2 picks a safe ADC, Israel. SKT can complete Gragas and Yasuo combo, which they can flex. For example, they can have Yasuo top to counter Ornn and play Renekton mid if required, or they can have Yasuo Gragas boss side. Another good thing about Yasuo in this situation is that his wind wall can stop Ornn's ultimate, neutralizing G2's engage. SKT bans Olaf, a very good early AD champion, which if combined with Ryze's AP, is threatening early. And G2 bans Syndra. This is because SKT lack AP carry on their team. Gragas does AP damage, but in a professional game, junglers tend to get outscaled late game, as they funnel gold into the carries. And as Syndra can be played bot and mid, as well as being AP, it's banned. SKT bans Rek'Sai, another early AD champion, and G2, for the same reason as Syndra, bans Kayle. With the good junglers banned, SKT decides to flex Gragas, Yasuo bot, and picks Lee Sin. And G2 responds with Jarvan and Galio. By doing this, they have a full teamfight comp. They have a very good scaling AP champion in Ryze, and a constant damage dealer in Israel with good engages and CC chain from Ornn, Galio, and Jarvan. SKT picks LeBlanc. This is because SKT with Gragas Yasuo bot will likely lose their laning phase, and Renekton is stopped by Ornn and will eventually be outscaled by G2. So they once again are the ones that need to snowball. So if SKT picks a passive mid laner, they'll have a hard time playing this game. LeBlanc is very good champion in laning phase and roaming to help out other lanes. Rating the draft, G2 got a very balanced team comp, 10 out of 10. SKT got a strong early team comp, but due to the difficulty of this team comp, I rated at 9 out of 10. But still, a better draft than game 1, although the Kiana ban is still very questionable for me. Now let's move on to analyzing the game. The first play starts from here. SKT support places a ward in the bush and recalls to switch into Oracle lens. The benefit of this is there's shorter cooldown on the lens than wards. So if the support changes back into wards on the next recall, they have a ward when normally they would not. On top of that, I think SKT rushed this a bit. G2 can take this blue buff down quickly, and is doing some serious damage onto Jarvan. With G2 already being in SKT's jungle and the close exit blocked, their only escape route is here. If they do manage to escape, Jarvan's jungling will be a serious problem, and G2's bot duo must go all the way around to their lane, so their bot lane is also at a disadvantage, which means they'll likely have to fight this. So SKT can let the blue poke them down. LeBlanc is arriving before Ryze, so if SKT wait just a little bit more, G2 will be poked down by the blue buff, and SKT can strike as 4-man team. Disengage by Gragas is a poor one. Both Lee Sin and Yasuo are melee, and there's Galio blocking them, so no one can follow up on it. Not to even mention the flash he used for this. They did still end up getting a kill on the jungler for a support, so it's a decent trade, but considering how favourable this could have been, it's a poor trade. However, a catch to this play is SKT picked LeBlanc to pressure Ryze, so that she can shove in the wave and roam or look for a kill with Ignite. But with both Flash and Ignite down on LeBlanc, there's less pressure on Ryze. But SKT makes that irrelevant as they get a flash out of Ryze immediately. Despite SKT starting the game well, G2 continues to fight back. I think series of plays here perfectly summarize this. Unlike game 1, Renekton looks for plays elsewhere. He shoves in the wave and roam, just as G2 set up a good gank in the bot side. So despite G2 being the ones that made the play, SKT are the ones with the priority over the dragon. But using the moment Renekton arriving in mid, SKT looks for more advantage and looks for a play in mid and successfully take down Ryze. But G2 also use this moment and steal SKT's dragon. So it continues fight back and forth, but G2 receives the first real blow of the game in this play. Caps reacts well and flashes out of Gragas' ult, so it looks like it's the end of the play. But Faker lands his chain onto Ryze, and Ryze being flashless is rooted. This allows Gragas to E-flash onto Ryze, and SKT finish him off. Perkz plays well here and reposition himself towards the turret, while Jarvan lands his flag onto LeBlanc, doing just enough damage for Perkz to flash Q for the kill. With all of SKT's ults down and G2 healthy, it's their turn to fight back. Jarvan engages well. He flash ult and Galio looks for the CC chain with his ult, but it's Perkz' mistake that changed the fate of this fight. He uses E to move forward for the extra damage. He's flashless, and with his E on cooldown, he has no escape. Renekton uses E onto Jarvan to move closer to Jarvan's wall and flashes over towards Perkz. With Perkz and Caps dead, G2 have no damage dealers left. It's the end of this fight. But the result of this couldn't be any better for SKT. Renekton was with only a kill up to this point, and losing on CS to Ornn due to the continuous roaming. But after this fight, Renekton is 5-0-1. Sure, Renekton does eventually get outscaled, but he's unstoppable when he's this fed. SKT are the ones with the split priority, just like G2 in game 1. Despite the disadvantage, G2 does well to take a turret, but a crucial mistake is made by G2. SKT moved into the top jungle using the gap in their vision here. And Ryze is seen bot without TP, while Baron is up. With Israel killing the dragon, SKT know there's no G2 players positioned near Baron. Although they do get lucky that Galio finishes the recall just before they Baron. So SKT take the Baron, and unlike game 1, they take 5 turrets and an inhibitor with the Baron buff. SKT now have the foundation to finish this game. SKT managed to get the Baron again thanks to Renekton, using his gold advantage to take down Ryze and force Ornn's TP. But during this Baron play, G2 engages. SKT, with the Baron buff and minions pushing in mid, attempts to end the game by holding off G2 while Lee Sin pushes for the Nexus. But Ryze responds well and ults back towards the base, delaying this game. With the Elder Dragon coming up towards the end of the Baron buff, G2 group mid. They know SKT are positioned in the river, but since the Elder Dragon hasn't spawned, G2 continues to push mid. Faker makes a crucial mistake here and decides to recall. This is a mistake because G2 have a Mountain Drake, so they can use Ryze ult to burst down the Elder Dragon. Even though G2 didn't know of this, they see SKT have repositioned out of the river, so they use Ryze ult to burst the dragon down. Galio delays Lee Sin's approach and Ornn uses his ult to help out, but the decisive mistakes are made by the two carries. First, Ryze is positioned at the front. This allows Gragas to ult Ryze towards SKT while knocking Jarvan away from the dragon, so Lee Sin is able to steal the dragon and kick Ryze towards Yasuo. With the jungler and bot duo focusing Ryze down, he's out of the fight despite Jarvan and Galio attempting to save him. On the other side of the fight, Renekton has been blocked by Galio and Ornn. Israel, just like the first teamfight, makes the mistake of using his E towards Renekton when Renekton hasn't used his E, allowing Renekton to focus down Perks and ignore the front line, and LeBlanc arrives to finish Perks off. Just like the first team fight with both damage dealers down, it's the end of this fight. If Ryze positioned himself inside the pit, I think G2 may have been able to fight this better, with all three front lines shielding the damage dealers inside the pit. I hope this video helped, and I'll see you again next time.